What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for coming back for another video. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to create 3D letters in Procreate. I'm going to show you two ways, one way and a little bit more advanced, but I want to say thank you so much for all the support that you all have been giving me. And thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed. It really means a lot to me. And also thank you for following me on Instagram, checking out my website, all the stuff in the description below. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and now let's get to it. First off, we are here in Procreate. I can't see what I am. I want to make sure you all can see me. I'm just using my watch to be able to do my whole camera stuff. But here we are in Procreate. I got a blank canvas. I'm just gonna write out a random word and just gonna be using one of the brushes that I have. And the word, let's write something that is everyday common word, such as love. And there's many different ways you can write the word love. This tutorial, we're just focusing on creating letters as 3D. And I'm gonna show you two ways. One way is not as much work, but it's just a lot more, I feel like it takes a bit longer. And then the second way that I want to show you requires more attention to detail. So let's get to it. So as there you see, we have the word love, and the smart thing to do would be to make a copy, and then you would just find a color palette that you want to use. This is one that I had used previously, and I have quite a bit of others. So what we're going to do, we'll just choose a random one, and we'll just choose that one. Oh, there we go, set as default. And of course you're going to start with your background color. Me, it really depends on what direction I want to do. If I want to have a dark background, like light colored background, or whatever I'm in the mood for. So we're going to choose that. And then see, we already have the copy of the layer here. So in case something happens to the layer that we're working on, we can always go back to the original. Same approach to take into Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. And since we have a dark colored background, we're just going to choose a light color that we're going to use for the word. And choosing from our palette, you want to think of how it's going to look once you put the 3D. If you want the letters to be a lighter color and then the 3D to be a darker color. So therefore, let's go with the dark color here. And then you're going to swipe, do alpha lock. I'm going to go through this pretty quick because it could definitely be a pretty long video, and I just want you to get the basics of what I'm trying to get at. So there, as you see, we got the color of the letter, of the word, and then you're going to swipe right, swipe left, hit duplicate, and then you would choose your lighter color. And then boom, come down like that. And this is the first way that I was doing 3D. I would, as you see, just make a copy of the main layer and then do another copy, bring that like that, and really just try to get them lined up to where it doesn't look off center too much. And then just merge down. Let's go a little bit more. And let's take it. So therefore, that is the example of one way to do 3D. And you know, there's more to it than just this, because you're going to go in and add the shading to be able to read this word. So if I show you one thing really quick, we go in like that, and could add maybe a black, and that little pop there, it gives it some color. And if I threw like a Gaussian blur, just look at how much more character something like that gives this. And if you, the 3D, you go in, add your little shading in, and that's really how to take it from, let me group all of these, how to take it from this to this. And that simple steps, I showed you that one. And now I'm gonna show you the more, I'd say like the more advanced way to do 3D. So I'm going to reverse all the colors, and we're going to go about using the color palette a different way. So as here you see, I swap the colors out, and with 3D here, instead of cheating the way how I did, you're going to, if that is a little too far for you, you could go like that, and then just switch your brush. To me, I use a studio pen. I know it's cool that we have all this access to different brushes, but sometimes you don't need all of that just to do what you are, just to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But that is all up to you and your vision for your pieces. And here, with this approach doing 3D, you would just really fill it in. Oh, let me turn off the streamline. You'll just fill it in, and you're gonna go through and tighten up all of these little edges of the 3D that you created. Just really depends on the time that you have and how much time you want to put into a piece. But you know, it just depends on what is more comfortable for you. And you see here, this curve of the L, this part that is not nice and smooth, I'm just gonna go through like that. And now I'm gonna go through and show you the finished product. Once again, this is just the two approaches that I take to doing, well, to creating 3D lettering in Procreate, as we did with this one. See, we added in a little Gaussian blur, and I must say, like, this way is a little easier, but don't get frustrated, I'll say, with doing 3D lettering in Procreate and creating it, because just like anything, your 3D lettering is going to suck at first. And if you want to go in and you know, do gradients, add more, that's just going to come with time and the more practice you do. And I'll have to say, like, it is some amazing stuff that you can create, and like how beautiful you can have 3D letters look in Procreate. Like, let's take this one and bring it a little bit, go a little bit further with it. And then we're going to close out the video. I'm just going to speed this part up now. That doesn't look too bad, really, with the overall approach that you're going to be taking with adding highlights and the shading to your 3D lettering. The more you do it, the better that you will get. Don't stress over it. Just be more prone to not being afraid to at least try it. And if you do feel like, oh, I'm taking this too far, this is just looking like it's too much, and then I'll say, like, it most likely is then, because I have looked at some of my old pieces that I did here on Procreate. I'm just like, oh my God, what was I thinking? But with all that said, it's like Procreate at the time, not many classes were out on doing Procreate, and didn't have many people that knew as much about it as they do now. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to come through, hang out, hopefully learn something. And don't feel afraid to shoot me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions about anything, as well as leave a comment below, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate you. Peace.